The secret to keeping eggs fresh for up to 12 months. This is the trick my grandmother used for decades. Back in the day, my grandma always used to say, "Wasting eggs is such a waste of money, my dear." And she was absolutely right. So many times we'd buy a whole basket of eggs, only to have them go bad, crack, or start smelling just a few days later. It really breaks your heart to see. Welcome to Easy Tricks. Today, I'm going to share with you the super simple egg preservation methods that my grandmother taught me. From traditional folk tips passed down through generations to easy techniques anyone can do at home. With just a few steps, you can keep your eggs fresh for weeks, even up to a whole year or more, without needing a refrigerator at all. Let's get started. First, I always start by carefully inspecting the eggs. Only choose completely intact eggs with no cracks to use this method. Fresh eggs won't make any sound when you gently shake them, and the contents will feel firm and solid. And most importantly, never wash the eggs. If an egg is dirty, simply clean it by gently brushing the shell with a soft brush. Now, prepare a small bowl of cooking oil. You can use sunflower oil, olive oil, or soybean oil. The oil will create a natural protective film that prevents air from entering through the shell and slows down the oxidation process. Next, gently dip your clean fingers or a soft cloth into the oil and apply a very thin layer over the entire surface of the egg. A light coating is all you need. Then, place the eggs in a tray or box with the large, rounded end facing up and the pointed end facing down. Make sure the eggs don't touch each other to avoid bumping and cracking. Finally, store them in a cool, dry, well-ventilated place, away from direct sunlight. With this method, eggs can stay fresh for 2 to 3 months. Next is the second method, a traditional technique that was extremely common in rural areas long before refrigerators existed. I prepare a clean wooden crate or box, then pour a layer of dry rice, husks, or dry sawdust, about 3–4 centimeters thick on the bottom. Both rice husks and sawdust have the ability to lightly absorb moisture and keep the eggs in a well-ventilated environment, preventing mold and dampness. Now, gently place each egg on the layer of husks, sawdust, with the large, rounded end facing up. Leave about 1–2 centimeters of space between each egg to avoid any contact or bumping. While we're still exploring these interesting tips together, I'm really curious, where are you watching this video from? Leave a comment below, I'd love to know where you're from. It's amazing how these little kitchen tricks can bring us closer together, whether you're in a bustling city or a peaceful countryside. Once one layer of eggs is arranged, I cover it completely with another layer of rice husks, sawdust. I repeat this process, eggs, then husks, until the box is full. When finished, close the lid of the box and store it in a dry, cool, and well-ventilated place. Thanks to the stable temperature and moisture-absorbing properties of rice husks or sawdust, eggs preserved this way can stay fresh for 1 to 2 months, with the yolk still firm and no off smell. And now for method number 3. First, prepare your eggs and clean them thoroughly. Put the eggs in a large bowl, add a little baking soda and a pinch of salt, then pour in enough water to completely cover the eggs. Let them soak for 5 minutes. The baking soda helps loosen dirt and stains, while the salt disinfects and cleans effectively. This is the safest and easiest way to remove bacteria from the shell. After soaking for 5 minutes, gently wipe each egg dry with a clean kitchen towel. Now we're going to hard-boil them. Take a pot, fill it with enough water to cover the eggs. Add 30 milliliters of vinegar and 1 tablespoon of salt, and stir until the salt dissolves. Carefully place the eggs in the pot and cover with a lid. Boil until fully cooked. Once done, remove the eggs from the pot and immediately transfer them to cold water to cool quickly. When the eggs are cool enough to handle, peel the shells. Grate or julienne 1 carrot into thin strips and set aside. Here's the sterilized glass jar I've prepared. Add a few garlic cloves to the bottom of each jar, then drop in about 5-7 whole black peppercorns. Place the peeled, hard-boiled eggs into the jar. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Salt has natural antibacterial properties that help the eggs last much longer. Next, add 2 tablespoons of 9% vinegar. If you're using 5% vinegar, use 4 tablespoons instead. Fill the remaining space in the jar with the carrot strips, then pour hot water around 80-90 degrees Celsius, 176, 194 degrees Fahrenheit, not boiling, into the jar until everything is completely submerged. Screw the lid on tightly. You can instantly see how stunning it looks. Once finished, the gentle orange hue from the carrots spreads out so softly, it's incredibly pleasing to the eye. If you want a bolder, more vibrant color, feel free to use beetroot or any other natural coloring vegetables. Whatever shade you like, it's totally up to your taste. Let the jars cool completely to room temperature, then store them in a cool, well-ventilated place away from direct sunlight. Now let's move on to the fourth method. Super simple, but surprisingly effective. First, I prepare clean sheets of aluminum foil. Aluminum foil helps block light, moisture, and air from coming into direct contact with the eggs. I take each egg, place it in the center of a piece of foil, then wrap it gently but completely airtight, being careful not to press too hard so the shell doesn't crack. Wrapping it tightly prevents oxygen from entering and reduces the natural evaporation of the egg white. Once all the eggs are wrapped, I place them in a box with the large rounded end facing up. Finally, I close the box and store it in a cool, well-ventilated place away from direct sunlight and any heat sources. With this method, eggs can stay fresh for 3 to 5 weeks while still retaining their original freshness and flavor. And here's the final method. Prepare glass jars that have been thoroughly washed and completely air-dried. Gently place each egg into the jar, being careful to avoid any impact that could crack the shell. Once the eggs are properly positioned, sprinkle coarse salt over them until they are fully covered. The salt not only absorbs moisture, but also inhibits microorganisms, and over time, it even helps strengthen the eggshell. If the salt hasn't settled evenly, simply give the jar a gentle shake so the grains slide down into the gaps. Then, seal the lid tightly and store the jar in a cool, dry, well-ventilated place, away from direct sunlight and high temperatures. With this method, eggs can remain perfectly preserved, peacefully sleeping for up to a full year while retaining their freshness.